Today we're talking with David Bopp with the International Disaster Response Network. David, thanks for taking the time.
No problem. Thank you, Matt.
Please give us an update as to what has happened recently in Pakistan.
Well, there's been monsoon rains in Pakistan that have caused the worst flooding in approximately 80 years. It's really bad. The disaster zone stretches all the way from Peshawar region in the north all the way down into Tonk in the west. So pretty extensive disaster zone. About 3 million people have been affected, 2 million people have been displaced, and 1.3 million have been severely affected. The death toll just climbed past 1,500. And food and sanitation are becoming a big issue. There's already been several reports of cholera outbreaks, and that's beginning to spread.
When exactly did this happen?
It's essentially happened over the course of a week, towards the end of July and the beginning of August.
So we've seen very large disasters in recent years and months where large death tolls have really caught everybody's attention. The death toll, 1,500 people, is a lot of people. At the same time, there are a lot of people who have really been impacted by this, is what you just told me.
Absolutely. What makes this different than most other disasters is just how widespread it is. Typically with an earthquake or an event like that, it's a small region that's really heavily impacted, and this is just a very large area. So it's very difficult for the government and responding agencies to cover that kind of area, and the government's just been completely overwhelmed. I mean, they've deployed all their helicopters, all their troops, and it's still not enough to get to all the people that have been affected.
Are there International Disaster Response Network members responding?
Yes, absolutely. There are IDRN members on the ground in Pakistan that are currently coordinating response efforts. They are organizing missions to go into the remote communities to help provide relief aid. We also have members in the international community and stateside that are mobilizing medical teams, medical relief supplies, and food for relief in the disaster zone.
Now, this particular disaster event is not showing up in the news or on other nonprofit organization websites as much as you might think. Do you have any comments or ideas as to why that might be the case?
Well, this region of Pakistan is a very controversial region. It definitely does not have a great reputation in the international community. There's Taliban operations that have been occurring there for quite a long time. However, it's still in dire need of relief. There's women and children, especially children, suffering from cholera outbreaks. And even though motives are often questioned in this area, the right thing to do is to help those that are in need and hope that in doing so that peace and prosperity is brought about.
Well, it does sound like an opportunity where the international community can help maybe change some of those opinions that people, the locals, may have of the outside world. And have you seen any evidence of that yet, or is everything way too early?
It's a little early, but you brought up a good point. The international community doesn't have a great view of this region, but the locals there don't exactly have high standing of the international community. So I think this is definitely an opportunity for the international community to essentially lay down an olive branch and maybe change some of the trends that have been happening in that region. Again, it's early, but I think it's a great opportunity, and time will tell.
Well, this is the kind of thing that should be going on for quite a while. Do you anticipate the IDRN working with this for a long time?
I believe we will be. We have partners on the ground that are committed to long-term response and recovery efforts in the region. I think as long as we can support those partners on the ground and continue flowing the necessary supplies into the region, it will be very helpful. One of our focuses is really reaching those remote areas that have not been touched by government or any other non-government agencies. And although these areas tend to be a little bit more dangerous, they're the regions that are the most in need right now.
Now, at this point, there's some significant work being done on the IDRN.info website, which is used to help coordinate. We've implemented in the past the Virtual Emergency Coordination Center, and that's an online tool, but that's not currently being used in this particular effort. Can you tell me why?
Yes, the VEC is being reworked. After Haiti, we had a lot of lessons learned, and we're trying to implement those into the VEC to make it a more effective tool. So right now, it's I guess you could call it under construction. In the interim, we're using the Starfish Community website, www.starfishcommunity.net, to really act as a stream of information to keep all members updated as to what's occurring. Essentially, the IDRN is the disaster response arm for the Starfish community, so I think it's a good fit.
David, I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy helping coordinate some things. We'll see if we can share this with a larger community. Any final thoughts or comments on this?
Yeah, Pakistan's really been hit hard by this, and it's probably not getting enough media attention that it deserves, but it needs help, and I would challenge all of you to keep Pakistan on your minds.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you.